What if the princess never loved her Prince Charming? Once upon a time, in a seemingly perfect country, in a grand castle on top of the tallest mountain, a beautiful princess was betrothed to a gallant prince. It was a love story straight out of a fairy tale, but that deceiving perfection would never be able to win Aurora's heart. Because her heart lies elsewhere, in the foggy gardens at the back of the castle, overgrown with weeds and gray in the early morning light. Because the garden had her rich black curls, darker than the deepest night, her amber eyes, glowing like the world's finest treasures. Every day, without fail, her presence would make Aurora's heart pound in her chest, her stomach fill with a million butterflies. The chill of the morning air would be forgotten as heat rose to her cheeks, and all she could see, all she could smell was her lilac fragrance with a hint of rose, the way her smooth skin felt when she ran her fingers through Aurora's hair. The intensity of her stare made the rest of the world fade away. Aurora still remembers the day they first met. Aurora, popular among the kingdom, admired for her kindness and morality, and her, a witch, whom everyone said was evil but whose presence made Aurora feel nothing but good. But she was supposed to feel angry, feel hate, for a witch performing forbidden magic. It was supposed to be dangerous, endanger the rest of the world. But Aurora could never look away. She almost felt the witch's long, nimble fingers grazing against her smooth skin, almost felt the butterflies in her stomach flutter and her heart fill with a strange feeling of ecstasy. She tried to push these feelings to the bottom of her heart, but she knew, inevitably, that they would surface. And they did, taking root in her heart and blossoming into the most beautiful flower. Because how could the rest of the world matter if there was her? People say the purest form of love is in the smallest of moments, and to Aurora, each memory was a hazy daydream. Perfect, almost magical, but slowly fading away. The late nights dancing in the gardens, feeling her warm body against hers, smelling the sweet fragrance of flowers and watching the fireflies fly around them, blinking in and out, in and out. Sitting on the cool grass on top a rolling hill, feeling her head on Aurora's shoulder as she dozed lightly, watching the sunset slowly transition into the twinkling twilight, and marveling at the appearance of billions of glittering stars. Sitting at the beach in the darkest of nights, with only the light glow of the crescent moon, hearing the waves crash against the beach in a slow, rhythmic pattern, and letting the ocean lull them to sleep. Each memory, each moment, pieced together to create the most ethereal puzzle, full of nature and wonder and magic. But all good things eventually come to an end, and the end of this good thing came in the form of a prince. The wedding, the dates, the dinner with family, it all felt like a nightmare that would never end. A stark contrast against her previous reverie, and as Aurora adjusted to the daily routine of her new life, she felt her emotions being stripped away, bit by bit, day by day. Until she was nothing but a shell. She was there, but her mind was somewhere else, somewhere that came in the form of a beautiful girl with a magical touch, and their fleeting moments, forever gone but always in her heart. I've developed a huge crush on my best friend, and it's quite messed up. I guess I need to give a bit of context, which would explain things better. It's a longest story, so please bear with it. So I'm a freshman at a med school. Things started pretty joyful for me as I entered the college. New people, new friends, especially girls. I was quite an introvert in school, so yeah. But it's not that I never had one. I had a very close female friend, Lisa, before coming here, who was actually just a hometown childhood friend, but we actually got close during our medical competitive preparations. Now I happened to clear it just after my Cus 2 while she had to take a gap year. See, we were close enough, but most our convo had been online and I barely met her personally as her family was quite conservative. Even so, we had a great friendship. She was on her gap year, completely cut off from internet, smartphone in some distant city, while I joined my CLG at New Delhi. Despite meeting new peers, deep inside I knew I felt something for her until we don't have a talk in this direction. I can't genuinely feel for anyone else, which was a havoc as I had girls approaching me. All I could say to myself is wait till July, wait till she clears the exam and we could just talk this thing out. In this period, I became good friends with the titular best friend. From the very first day I had met her, we would just talk for hours and hours without stopping. I never had my vibes matched this hard with someone in my life, and I mean it. She was smart, nerdy, most importantly passionate like me, and the last trait is just a deal breaker for me. But as told, I was in the middle of something with Lisa, while here my best friend, named her Tashi, had already started having feelings for me, which I was unaware about, and it shattered my heart later. And despite our talks for a month, though I did tell her about Lisa but not about the romantic part, because I myself was unsure of it. Anyways, Lisa clears the exam and finally we get to talk. I was happy though apprehensive but finally get to express my feelings for her and holy cow she reciprocated as well. I felt really happy that we got into a relationship. I told my best friend about the incident and now I know how cruel it might have been for her. Anyways, she congratulated me and wished good for the future. But alas, it was not. We couldn't keep up with the LDR, also she had a great deal of family issues which made me vulnerable about the future and also she was very dull as a companion or could ever be. She had a very ideal approach towards love as a concept, built a fairy tale in her mind watching those crappy K-dramas. Hell, she talked better when we used to be friends. One day she herself opened up about how she's confused and doubtful about how this would last and I quote her, "I'm not even slightly interested in any relationship. I made to love someone once for a life and if it's CNTBU why even bother? Brew, why did you even accepted my proposal in the first place? Why make me vulnerable?" She came out to be a very hurtful and immature as a person at that instant. And Jill, I saw that coming but holy crap, I didn't know she'd turn out to be this ancient with her understanding of love. Well, within a month and a half we finally broke up. I had lost my self-confidence and of course developed commitment issues. At some point I felt I won't be able to commit with someone ever. As soon as I broke up, I just wanted to vent and need someone to talk to. I instantly called Tashi and I swear to God, she handled me and my shit so good that I knew this friendship is going very far. After my silly 2-month relationship, I swear I couldn't even look up to any girl romantically. Though my bonding with Tashi fortified every single day, things were quite platonic. It's not that she wasn't attractive, she was pretty as F. We both had complimented each other a million times for looks, and the compassion and support we had cultivated for each other was one of its kind. In fact, we were this close. Everyone in the college thought we were a thing. In fact, they think like that even now, but things were quite platonic between us. Until October came. I don't know, I had recovered my lack of self-confidence and felt happier as a person. Basically, I thought I can see someone now. So we had a freshman party planned for the batch and out of nowhere someday I started thinking of dating Tashi. Though it had come to my head multiple times back then, I just ignored. But this time, it wasn't the same. Not at all. I strongly felt she was going to be my sweetheart. Even my roommate, male homie, advised me that would be best as you guys are very compatible. Don't forget this homie, his part hasn't finished. Now one day during the annual college fest, me and Tashi both had some time to kill. So I asked her if she wanna hang out in the gaming zone. Later we might spend some time in the cafe. She agreed positively and thus we met at a city mall in the vicinity for gaming and chilling. My time with her was golden. It was so good. Afterwards we went to a cafe to gossip about batch mates and had a great laugh about it. Now as that fine afternoon proceeded, I couldn't recall if that much overjoyed, lively and lightheaded I had ever felt with any other girl I ever met. Though not many I had met. I always had a feeling as if I knew her even before we met, and now as I crushed over her, 'twas like if she's not the one then who else would be? But I knew that with this bestie tag, things gonna be quite tricky, though we used to joke about being together at times. It wasn't that serious ever. But good thing is we had a mad sense of communication, taking to each other about almost everything happening in our lives, you know, so I knew that confessing her won't be that big of a problem as we'd not let things get awkward. So one day we were on a phone call. I came to know she had a crush on someone. I saw that coming as I'd be the only person she'd tell. I felt crushed beneath a rock but still told her about how I feel. She was a bit shocked initially, but then just told me she felt happy about it but might need some time to think. I positively agreed. After that, she never cut me off but talked openly about her apprehension about ruining such a great friendship if things don't work out, which was quite reasonable for me as well. But I felt maybe it's her present crush freaking her mind and freezing her decisiveness, which I think was the main reason for her mild denial. Now comes the tricky part. So I came to know her crush was none other than my own roommate, the male homie I earlier talked about. She had developed feelings for him at an intercollege event which I didn't attend due to some issue. Holy mother of God, I swear I regret every bit of it. Things became complicated. My homie knew I had something for her, so he asked if I want him to humbly step back, but I'm someone with strong morals. I love my homie like a brother. If I could do anything good for him, I'd make it happen. And also, even if he stoops down and then I start dating Tashi, then I won't be able to live with myself seeing my brother who just crushed his liking for her, for the purpose that things work out for me. So we entered a pact that whoever she chooses, be it, I decide to ask her out seriously so things would clear out. I took her to an ice cream shop for discussing something serious and just narrated the aforementioned scenario from the very beginning to her. She was first shocked about me knowing about him. She was in a great dilemma. Her eyes were telling she knew things have gotten messed up. After a long talk, she said she cannot say no to me ever, as she trusts our bonding over any other guy out there. She told me how she was asked out by some other two guys as well, whom she declined as the present thing was a bit fucked up. She finally says that she feels very bad about my position in this and how it sucks for me. However, she cleared that she presently has feelings for my roommate, which she again knows is messed up, as it might lead to disputes between me and him. So she just asks me to reject her if possible, which would just crush my heart to the very core. And I almost broke down, though we didn't reach a conclusion. She told that I'm always a priority for her regardless anything. If she wanted, she'd have said, I would never date you, on my face, but it wasn't like that. It's just she had moved on from me in the past, and thus never brought the romantic light back on me. But after my confession, Tashi said she'll think seriously about it, and we reached a conclusion that either if her crush on my homie fades away, she'd accept me, or if I moved on from her, she'd be still happy seeing that my mental peace has retreated. We have an ultimatum of university exams next month. Studying now and looking into this triangle after that. And even if she accepts me, or him or none, it doesn't matter, because now I just want to see her happy. Though it sucks, I'm playing it cool and praying to God things work out between us. I think I'll cry if she accepts. Wish me luck, guys.